Okay, boleh kita start bro.
Boleh?
Kita ada presentation full 400 sebenarnya. So maybe more
Hmm.
are coming. So kita ada
Okay.
77. So kita start. Okay. First of all, welcome to another Sarjana seminar series. Thank you all for coming this morning. Thank you all for participate this morning on another series. So as usual, before we start our seminar or our talk, I would proudly to introduce our speaker for the topic. So it is my pleasure to introduce our speaker for Professor Dr. Chu Boon Hao, a professor and consultant family medicine specialist at UPM. Uh, we have Professor Chu Boon Hao is a distinguished clinician, researcher, and educator with over 24 years of experience in healthcare and clinical research. His current work focuses on safe and effective implementation on AI in healthcare and research. He also has led more than 20 research projects, secured over RM 3 million in research funding, and has published more than 100 peer-reviewed journal articles with over 3,500 citations. He has been recognized as one of the top 2% scientists in clinical medicine from 2020 to 2024 and has completed AI training program at National University of Singapore, NUS, and MIT. Today, Prof will be sharing his insight on using AI and research tool where participants will explore on how AI and modern research tools can enhance research productivity, improve academic writing, and support researchers throughout the research process. Without further ado, I pass the floor to you, Prof.
Okay. Right. So thank you, Arif.
Yes.
And yeah, and also welcome everyone. I'm very excited to share with you how you can use AI tools in your research thesis, research projects. So before we start, let's try out our chat box a bit. I'm going to ask you some questions so that I get to know who are you. Okay, the first questions here. So your postgraduate qualifications or ongoing program? Okay, 3332. Right. Okay, ongoing. Hmm. Okay. Right. Right. Okay, so there's a mix of PhD and master degree. Looks like most majority are doing your PhD. MBBS. Right. Anatomy. Okay. Right. Thank you. Good. Master. So second questions, yeah. Second questions. Second questions will be so I'll proceed to second questions, assuming I get the sample, random samples of those who have answered. Yeah. Okay. Right. So the same question is for me to get to know perhaps your experience with AI or how technology savvy are you, huh? Okay, let me get this. B C A B B C S. Or is it said S? A. Okay, quite young. Generally, you are quite young. Okay. Very few of you are in the C group category. I'm in the C category. Okay. Right. Okay. Mm. Right. Okay. So I think most of you are below below 45. Yeah. Most of you. And quite I think quite a fair proportions are in category A below 35. Okay, so I think you are quite should be okay with all the technology and the terms, but I would actually ask further a few more before we start. Okay. So I can guess from your answer just now, some said I think you are from all the disciplines, social science, perhaps science, technology, and medicine, health sciences. Okay. I'm going to ask, okay, perhaps a couple more questions, yeah. Okay, thank you for all the answers. So the next question is about how you previously have you previously attended a course or workshop, specifically on using AI for research, yeah? Okay. Okay, yes. Yes, yes, most of you. Hmm. Hmm. Oh, quite surprising. Quite a number have not actually attended any. Hmm. Okay. Yes. Okay. So I guess some of you attended something perhaps not related to research or not research focus. Okay. Okay. Right. Quite a good mix, I think. So I think I can assume that most of you actually have some experience using AI, exposure with AI to AI. Okay. Because nowadays it will be very rare, isn't it, for not using AI or not aware of it. Okay. Another one, yeah. Okay. I'll change the options so that will not be confused with the above. Okay. You publish at least one article in a peer-reviewed journal. Okay. Well, I think those of you who are in PhD might have already published one. Also, I think quite a number of you have not published any journal. Okay, so there are quite a lot of things to go through then. Right, right. Okay. Perhaps one last questions about your expectations. one last question, yeah, before we start. So this is question number what? There's no, okay. This is about your expectations. Someone has said that knowing ethics boundaries of AI in thesis and publications. Okay, that will be covered actually. Okay, you want the whole thing, huh? Okay, well, that we have 2 hours only. If I want to cover the whole thing, we need 2 days. Because I've conducted one before with my colleague in faculty. We actually took 1 day to just cover a lot of demo from analysis to publications. That was not actually cover the whole thing in the publication side. That was 1 day. Okay, so expectation for the entire research process could be covered, I mean, on the bit surface. Okay, B and C, a lot of B and C. Right. So does it means most of you have completed your study? If you are expecting more for B and C, you must have already completed the study and the data set, and you are now trying to work on the data set and to get it to publications. That's for B and C lah. So very few on the A side. All right. So I will put more emphasis because the A1 is like the first part of it, getting to the research proposal. Yeah. Second part will be something like in between, conducting field work. So we are not doing that. I'll tell you why. And the other part is from the dataset analysis to publications. Okay. Looks like right. So some of you want everything. Okay. Right. Okay. So noted. Prompt wise, of course, they'll be included. Right. Okay. Thank you. I can start now. Okay. Right. So, in any time you have anything you want to say, just put any something in the chat box. That will make it more interactive. I will tell you my plan for this webinar. I will, of course, from your feedback, I will put an emphasis on the second part of it, but I will also cover the first part, meaning how to get from research idea to proposal. And then I will try to give more time from data analysis to publications. Okay, now what I have here is some slides. So I will lay some ground, kind of a general, important key concepts that I want you to understand. Yeah, and then I would move on over to something more specific to each step in the whole research process. And you can tell I have like more than 40 slides here. If I delve 1-2 minutes in one each slide, we are going to spend out all the time. So I try to not too fast and also not too slow in certain part. Yeah. So your feedback, I will try to give some time at the end to conduct kind of a clinic for some of you. If you do have something like really you want to get something sorted out. Right. Okay. So 3 kind of general plans I have: laying the common ground, the foundations, something I think very important that you want to understand. Second part, go into specific part. So emphasis will be given from data set to publications. And then last of all, before we end, I will give some time for you to Q&A. Okay, so you see this poster from the SGS using AI and research tools. I will show you all that I know. I'm not going to show off who I am. I think I can tell you, giving you this webinar, meaning I got some substance. Otherwise, I won't do it. I'm going to say next will be this webinar. Hopefully, by the end of it, you will be able to go away knowing how to use AI for research profusely, productively, a lot. Now, use a lot. Go ahead. Me personal policy is that you should use it, but use it responsibly. And I will define how you should do that throughout the research process. Yeah, I'm going to tell you not just AI tools, but also some clinical epidemiology or epidemiological principles, research methodology, part of it. But I will not delve into more or too much on that because you have research webinar, seminar, or research methodology seminar within your own faculty and all that, isn't it? Okay, so some of you said something very important about ethics. Yeah, there are serious pitfalls and tendencies. I experience it. I see students like into the mire of that. Hopefully they know. And I think I want you to know by the end of this webinar. Okay. So AI will enhance who you already are. If you want to be a excellent researcher, you can become an excellent researcher. If you want to become a lazy researcher, you may become a lazy researcher. So AI would actually differentiate, a kind of watershed. You actually separate researcher into two kind of categories at least. So you want to be very careful who you want to be when you come to using AI. And then the next question would, what do you want to become? Yeah, what do you want to become? You come to university, you take up a postgraduate program. I'm sure you have thought about it, and you have prepared for it, and your parents or your government has actually given you some fund, yeah, to fund you through the program. I think you want to become a true researcher, isn't it? And you don't want to be just to graduate. And you can do that with the AI now, and you will just become a certified master degree holder. If the university has not come up with a proper assessment, I think university is catching up. And the one thing that you can't get away if you just use AI without understanding research will be the Viva. And you'll fail very, very badly if you don't understand the whole research process. So that's why I'm telling you from now, beginning your program or before you go to your Viva, if you're using AI, you want to be very sure how you use it so that you don't get burned. Yeah. And this will be the risk of I just mentioned. You want to become a researcher, or you are just going to become a manager of research or a manager of researchers. If you use AI a lot, then you're very skillful in using AI. Are you risking of not becoming a researcher yourself? Yeah. So be careful of that. I just want to make this very clear from the beginning. Yeah, I'm sure you are here because you want to become a researcher. So use AI in a way that would make you become an excellent researcher. Right. So anyone want to ask about the secret of success? So the secret of success, let me give it to you. In working with AI, yeah, I will not say I'm the most successful researcher in University Putra, Malaysia. I don't think I'm too bad. Yeah. So some of the criteria that you want to be very successful working with AI is first, be very patient. Because AI tools, later I will elaborate, they are not good at one output. Yeah. They are not good. They may be wrong. So you need to be very patient to be to and fro, yeah, talking or using the tools. Second one, you want to give yourself more time to try out tries and errors with some AI tools because they keep evolving. Yeah. So now we have ChatGPT super app, So they combine Codex, ChatGPT together all in one. So this has just happened like this week or last week. Yeah. So things evolve very fast. You want to always go back to try out the AI tools that you know, or some of the new AI tools you never know. You really want to try out. So who knows? You get to know one that's very good. If there are chance, if I remember, I will share with you some of the links to many other tools. We will not be able to cover everything, yeah, but we would. I would share with you some of the links that you can actually get to know more tools. The third one will be spend time updating yourself. Yeah, the way to work with them and get to know them as well. So if you have any other ideas, please feel free to share with me so I can learn from you as well. So far, so good. Okay, so I want to give an overview of the whole process of clinical research. I'm coming from medical and health sciences, which I think will not be too much different if you are coming from other faculty or discipline. You can see the whole research process. You start actually from the research idea. Yeah. So you would want to be able to tell whether the one that you want to research on is something that's clinical, is relevant to your discipline. Is that a true problem or issue? Yeah. Then perhaps you are still not very sure. You need to know how to conduct literature review. Yeah. And literature review that is well done would then help you to come up with a conceptual framework. I try not to go into details of each of these, otherwise we will not have time. Yeah. Then you want to be able or want to collaborate with expert. Yeah. Most, or I would say all research project nowadays is hardly can be done by a single team, yeah, or a single discipline. Okay. And last but not the least is the end users or patients input, or the one that your project would directly impact on. You want to get their input. I mean, it's not all kind of a proposed research needs to do this, but I think most of the proposed new research, if you do this or involve them throughout the whole your research process, you will get very good input and direct impact, relevancy at the end of your research project. So this concept is known as, in medical and health sciences, it's almost a mandatory overseas. I think it's coming on in Malaysia as well. So this concept is known as public and patients involvement, it's PPI. And so we have a colleague actually know how to do all this structurally. Okay, so the first thing I think everyone would actually have to do it is getting the research idea crystallized, refined into answerable research questions. Okay, so when you come to this, it's actually the stage in clinical epidemiology is known as theoretical design. Okay, so here there are things to sort out before you proceed to data collection design, because the rest of the stages would depend on the first theoretical design. And here you see that either your questions can be best answered using qualitative approach or quantitative approach, or whether it's primary or secondary or causal or non-causal. I will come back slightly more on this. Yeah. So just to convey to you that you want to understand the whole research process, and there are steps that you have to go through in sequence and also iterative. You may, when you have decided on something under theoretical design, when you come to data collection design, you may hit a feasibility wall or efficiency wall. You can't proceed. Then you have to go back to theoretical design, and to rethink, to replan, to reconsider. Once you get through theoretical design stage, data collection design stage, statistical design, which is afraid or feared by many is actually once you have decided on the previous stages, statistical design analysis plan is almost like pre-decided. You can only analyze in certain manner for a certain way of data collection or certain way of research questions. Okay, understood, huh? And before you even begin all this, is important or is a good practice, you should think about publications and practice. Yeah, a good research, you want to impact the discipline practices, guidelines, policy, yeah, change of life, all that. At the end of it, impacting the society, or either the your national level or international level. And usually the impact would actually go uh, through disseminations, publications, or conference presentations, and etc. Okay, get to know all this. This is very clear. Once you get this clear, doing research isn't difficult. Okay, so slightly something more about classifications. If I ask 10 people, likely I'll get 7, 8 different answer, how people classify research. But I'm going to offer to you, this is the one that I came across the most consistent and intuitive classifications. Yeah, I mean, from my disciplines, so research could be actually either qualitative or quantitative. Yeah. And then under these two, let me perhaps use a pointer. Okay, sorry. Never mind. Okay, so under these two, there'll be either primary or secondary. Primary will be collecting new data from the respondents, yeah, from patients lah, from my discipline. And under primary research, either is a non-causal or causal. Non-causals are those diagnostic, prognostic, and within them could be the prevalence study, incidence study. Under the causal one would be the interventional research or etiologic research. Okay, so this classification, I'm not going to the details, is very clearly classified. If you have these clear classifications, the design of them is more or less like already decided again. Okay, I put here some other research classification you may be more familiar with. Yeah, this would be actually go by the kind of discipline. Basic research will be those who are working in the lab. Clinical research maybe like non-public health, everything to do with patients, very broad. And healthcare services research, health system research, and educational research. Also, some actually use the data collection kind of method to classify their research, which is less desired. Yeah, this one is not so good. And something more, just how it apply throughout all. And if you go into quantity and quality, so quality will be another branch. And in between of this, there's a mixed methods. Okay. So just bear in mind. Now, what do we understand by using AI profusely? So I am going to say, when I say use AI profusely, is using them broadly. In almost every that I can tell you, you can use AI in every stages or steps of the whole research process, from all the beginning, all the way to the end. Yeah. And in timely manner. Yeah. So you want to use it at the right time, frequency, all that. And smartly, you must know how to prompt, you must know how to verify them. Yeah. Okay. And perhaps before we proceed, you know that if you're using universities, Google Gemini's, you are likely to hit the tokens limit very, very soon. I think the tokens limit that we have isn't much, isn't much. So I think if you are using it a lot, you need to subscribe. You need to pay. Yeah, you need to pay. I use more than one actually. Okay, and what I mean profusely does not mean this. It does not actually get you very much faster. You feel like it's an illusion that you are doing it faster. But if you know that you have to use it responsibly, it does not make you any faster. I will explain and show you why. So you get into this using AI for your research, get the expectation right, yeah. And profusely also does not mean you necessarily produce something better. Yeah, it's not faster, it's not better, and also it may not be cheaper. compared to not using AI or compared to conventional traditional methods. And this is well proven. This is well proven, and report has been actually uh, uh, observed. AI in scientific publishing is actually slower, and worse, it could be more expensive. And just now to touch on responsibly, to use AI responsibly, what does it mean? Before later we'll elaborate. It's about proper using it, that you know how to use, when to use and when not to use, and when to be cautious about it, because you're going to own it, because it's going to be about you becoming trained researcher. At the graduations, you want to be really someone that people look up to, that you can do research. For those with a PhD degree, the international level of standard perceiving a PhD graduate is you can do research independently. Of course, you're not wholesome, yeah. You cannot be knowing everything, but the one that you did in your PhD is the one that you may become independent researcher about it. Okay, and for other as well, if you've undergone some research project, so you want to be able to own it. I mean, you are able to be stands on your degree lah, yeah. You don't want to be found out that you're not so sure because you use it a lot. Yeah, you have not owned it. And the next one will be academic integrity. I'll come to that also a bit more, and ethical part of it. Once you get this clear, it's a kind of the the track for the train. Then your train can go very fast. Right. So as a kind of a subject, subsection summary. So I hope you understand now that using AI involve some knowledge about clinical method. I mean research methods. Yeah. Also some knowledge about the tools and materials. Right. Now I want to ask you, uh, assuming you are attending this course, is that you want to learn from me, or you believe School of Graduate Study University Putra Malaysia is offering some webinar that is believable, credible. Otherwise, you will not want to come to listen to me. You can always go to the AI, isn't it? To learn about everything. So perhaps I can stop here for a while. Is tell you everything that you don't know. You can always go to any of the AI chat box, ALM, to ask about it, and then apply the three secrets of success. You ask, be patient. Mean if you don't understand, you have to and fro, ding dong a bit, and then you go and try it out, and you learn from there. It happens, yeah. So I repeat, you come to here because there is something authoritative, believable, credible. Someone like me and SGS will not fool you. Yeah, will not fool you. That's why you come to here, and you believe your time will be well spent. Compared to you go to a AI. Am I right? Can I say so? So this is something about epistemic responsibility. It's about learning about knowledge. It's about learning about getting knowledge. How do you know that you know? How do you know that the knowledge that you learned is true knowledge? Yeah. So again, this will be something that you want to bear in mind. Uh, Learning from AI and learning from authoritative figures and sources is a bit nowadays, at the moment, is still two different things. Because when you learn from someone who's authoritative, that you can believe in, you can take it in almost as directly. Yeah. Compared to if you just learn from AI, you have to be careful I'll tell you why in next few slides, because they cannot tell you the truth. There's no truth from AI because of who they are or should I say who it is yeah? Okay, so the question mark here is to remind me to show you later all the AI tools yeah. The AI tools will be, you have to know their strengths, different strengths, and slightly different roles of each AI tools. In general, maybe I can say it as a passing. AI tools, there are two kind of broad category. One is a general one, like ChatGPT, Gemini, or Claude. And the other one is specialized one. Specialized because they pre-training. So they are specialized in certain steps or functions, like in literature review, or in writing, or in statistical analysis. So they are specialized tools, they are general tools. Okay, so there are these two broad ones. Even among the general tools like Gemini, ChatGPT, and Claude, they also have slightly different strength, if you realize. Yeah. So like for Gemini, generally the one that is good about Gemini is a nano banana image creation and editing. The rest, the other part of it, they say is also good in science, but nowadays I think it's overtaken by, or perhaps as good also the others with the others, like ChatGPT and Claude. Yeah. And ChatGPT is now, I think, is one good thing about ChatGPT, based on my experience, that the limit of token is very, very huge. Somehow they allowed you to exceed the limit, there was a report saying that they allow the limit of tokens, even you are free or you subscribe to the 20 USD per month, they allow the user to exceed it, much more than compared to Anthropic. Okay, so the one that I found in producing good writing and output artifacts is Claude, nowadays. Claude is fantastic. If you get to use it, you will actually want to produce some artifacts like HTML, web pages, or writings, a piece of articles. Claude is the best to me. Yeah, I'm not so sure about other discipline. Okay, so get to know the tools so that you know how to use them. I'll come back to that also slightly more. Hey, now that's what this was what I said. Now learning to become a researcher in your master or PhD, now compared to before AI era, it actually become is a different thing. We used to be reading a lot, which I think I would advise you to still read a lot. Yeah, we used to be reading a lot. We read about the topics that we want to research on. We read about research method. We read about biostatistic principles. We read and then we remember lah. Read, the more you read, then the easier you remember. Then we understand it. Then we start applying it. Like say you write the research proposal or you apply it in your statistical analysis. You apply in academic writing. Yeah. So analyze, apply lah, and evaluate is that you like able to provide appraisal or being a judge, yeah, in conference. Yeah, you're able to evaluate other people's job, of course yourself as well, and also you'll be more ready than not to create. However, yeah, with the arrival of AI, now the things upside down. Now you can create. Everyone can do everything. You can even ask, if you subscribe, you pay to AI. The one that you paid, you have higher tokens, a stronger model. You would be able to create the whole research proposal within half an hour. I will show you some of the tools you can try. But again, bear in mind, yeah, it's exciting. But you would have, I mean, the product, your research proposal is not so-called faster, better, or cheaper, because you need to ensure the feasibility and quality of the proposal. You can create, but then it's not actually the thing that you want, or your supervisor can accept, or you can pass your Viva. Yeah. So nowadays, because of AI, it would actually take away a lot of so-called cognitive load, writing load, writer's block, all that. It can straight away give you something straight away, product, created product. However, as a responsible user of AI and as a responsible researcher, you want to, now it's opposite, upside down. You want to be able to evaluate the product by AI. Yeah, and you want to be really able to break down into components that you can understand, isn't it? Understand. And able to apply, if you have to apply it in another research project. And all this, hopefully, by going down the triangle or pyramid or cones, you will be able to understand and remember what you are doing. And then this will actually ensure you pass your Viva. If you're asked, you'll be able to understand. Yeah. So these are the upside down world nowadays in research enterprise. Yeah. Whether it's a good thing or bad things, I think most would think it's a good thing, but you have to know how to use it responsibly, wisely. If it's not, you are going to be burned. I mean, you are going to be doomed, by AI. Okay. Let me just pause a while. Let me check. Okay, right. Okay, let's continue. Yeah, this just put it on the slides. What I have mentioned just now, to make it very clear to you all that LMs has actually made a watershed between the two, these two skill sets. Yeah, writing skill may not be so much like important now because LM can write for us. Yeah, and coding syntax in statistics also now you may not need to remember, the coding. If you know some of the statistical software like R or SPSS or even Stata, there's a kind of syntax, isn't it? Like coding kind of thing. Now you can actually ask LM to provide you with that syntax. You just paste on the SPSS or R, you get all that you want. Yeah, true. Later, maybe I can show you how is that done. And even analysis part of it, you no need to like click, and do it. And even now, today, if you use ChatGPT 5.6, it can actually goes away. It's kind of becoming agentic nowadays. It used to be just a chatbot. Now ChatGPT 5.6, I think the rest also the same. But I think I have used ChatGPT 5.6. It can actually goes away, analyze everything, and come back to you. But I think the is very exciting. It's just that you need to also be able to understand and take that lah. Yeah, you cannot just take everything and goes away happily. Remember, you have to be owning it and be responsible. However, also LM's arrival underscore the imperative, meaning to say cannot be disposed away, the skills, knowledge about research methodology. It make it more important actually, because you actually now create very fast. Yeah, so you need to understand research methodology to be able to go along with it. You know what I mean? Now I can create research reports. Let's say one day I can create 2 or 3. But if I were to verify and confirm before I can publish, I need to go through whether all that is written by AI, true or not. And you will not be surprised to find like at least 10-20% wrongs, mistakes, inconsistency in the report, because I later will tell you why is that so. Okay, the same goal for statistical principles is becoming even more important because you need to verify, you need to appreciate what is done by AI, you need to know all this. And critical thinking cannot be overemphasized nowadays. If you don't like to verify, you don't like to be thoughtful or of all the outputs from AI, then you are in great trouble. Yeah, we used to be able to get away with it because we read, remember, understand first before we go and do that. Even though that was not well done, we have some kind of backup lah, because we go through that kind of process. Nowadays, because you go down from the Bloom taxonomies from the top, if you don't have critical thinking, you are really doomed at some point in your research process. And definitely you'll be very hard in your viva. And the last thing is creativity. If you like wanted to develop something more, like for me, when I prepare this webinar, I use a lot of tools, and if I got time, I can show you. Later, I'll show you there's another kind of online materials that I'm going to show you. So creativity will be your invaluable asset as a researcher in the future. Yeah, as how you would you can make better use of AI. Yeah, if you don't understand, just bear in mind. You want to somehow nurture or cultivate your creativity. We can discuss this at the end. Okay, so LM is in academic writing. This is a very good article as to support, or to caution how to use LM responsibly. It used to be people say if you use LM for writing is a no-no. You'll be stigmatized against, or you will lose your writing skills or that. Of course, if you fall into the extra here lah, yeah, the extra here is low human effort and low AI. Yeah, or the other one is more AI but less human, the lip sync here. Then you will really also get into trouble of losing your writing skills or that. And the quadrant, it will be the best quadrant for us to continue using LMs in academic writing will be here director. So what director is high human and high AI. You can let AI does all the real labor. Yeah, can you read here? And the researcher makes every meaningful call about what stay, what goes, and why. Okay, so it's okay to use LM. If your supervisor, if your university, I hope not, come after you saying that you cannot use AI to write your thesis. No, it is not that you cannot use it. It's the way how you use it is important. Yeah. So this slide actually remind me to bring up these issues about nowadays. There's an AI detector. It's very, very accurate. I tried it. I'm surprised. I'm very impressed. So you can try this Pangram. Yeah, and it's used by one of the renowned conference organizer to screen through all the submitted abstract. Yeah, it's not 100%, but it's very good, better than our what is that? Turnitin AI detector. All that are quite rubbish. It's not reliable, except this one. Okay, and you say, okay, I don't want to be detected, and you can use humanizer. Yeah, humanizer. You can actually convert all that generated by AI LM to become more like you if you also upload something that you have written before. Now, it sounds like there are double tricks here, isn't it? Yeah, you write with LM and you humanize it, use another AI tool to humanizing it. So what are you doing here? What are you doing here? Are you going to play a trick? You can, isn't it? If you want to become a trick, imposter. At the end of it, if you want just to produce research thesis, you want to just to pass or not, if you don't want to become a true researcher. Now AI tools can make you becoming that person. Remember my earlier slide? It really actually kind of soul searching who you really want to be at this point of time. So I hope you learn AI tools. You can use this Pangram to make sure how much percentage of your articles, manuscript, how many proportions is AI kind of thing. Or you can later on or improve it with humanizer, make it like almost zero, but make sure the process, like the earlier slide also, saying that you actually owned it. you direct it, you know what you're doing, then that's fine. Otherwise, you are double sin. You are committing two sins here. You get me? Yeah, I'm just a bit joking, but it's not false, isn't it? You use two AI tool to get away. Okay, now just spend a bit or more time about neural network. Uh, why AI does not provide any truth at all. AI or LMs, I hope you know what's LMs, large language models. Now they have small language models, so that is actually more friendly to many computers and laptop. Why AI is not providing truth? They just optimize plausibility because of neural network, because of what they are underneath your computer. In the chip itself, they are nothing but mathematical formula on silicon chip. Okay, so what they do, they've been so good, yeah, that people fall into belief that they are actually telling the truth. They can reason, no, they don't reason. They don't tell the truth. All they provide us is probabilistic output. Yeah, all these are probability. Okay, yeah. So be careful when you use LM not to be burned or doomed by LM. AI is that they threaten our justifications, the context. Everything come up from LM, AI tools that you ask to get from AI, be very careful whether you can justify, yeah, one and the other. Let's say your association or relationship between any variables, or why you do this and not that. AI may not be able to tell you the truth. They just give you some plausibility, probability of this and that. And evidence-wise, you have to give the context to it, whether this is truly something that is important. And they don't actually tell you the true evidence because they don't tell the truth. Evidence is almost like the truth of certain things. Yeah. Epistemic responsibility is that learning. How do you know you know? How do you know the knowledge is true? And LM will not tell you the true knowledge, so called. You have to make sure that what you learn is true. It's a knowledge that you want to retain or you can use. Authorship. AI cannot be an author until now. Yeah, it's not acceptable. No journals, as far as I know, except you can put AI as authors because they cannot accountable to the results that you report. Okay. Now, if you are starting your first research project, you may feel very overwhelmed. We can feel those who are doing a master. You'll be actually a lot of things you want to sort out. Not too much. But welcome to this exciting world of scientific research. Okay, it's okay that you do not know anything. It's okay to be overwhelmed by dense scientific papers and complex methodologies. You may be concerned that if you don't pick up AI tools and all that, you may be falling behind, which is fair. And no, but congratulations, because of all that, you are here. Yeah, so the friction, of learning until now, in order for us to learn, we have to have some struggles. Yeah, so maybe your curve will be a bit steep. Yeah, it has a learning curve. Once you get over it, it become easier. Okay, so take heart. Is normal and it's going to be okay if you continue on. Yeah. Okay, if you say you don't feel overwhelmed, it's okay, everything is easy. Then you watch this lah. Later I will share my slide with you all as a PDF. You can watch this. And these are the tools that I mentioned about. Okay, there's another tool. This will be kind of very comprehensive tools, from getting you a research idea to almost like systematic review. Yeah, these two. And Jenny AI and Paper Power will be helping you with writing and also citation and also almost like auto. Yeah, I know the academic corruptions lah. a lot of citations you just cited for don't know for what reason, and you have not really fully read the paper. Yeah, so be careful. Yeah, and all this you can actually watch, and you will know that there's a lot of things to learn. And I have actually come up with one articles which have not published because it changes so fast. Yeah, later I can share with you as well. And here in this, I have some uh, opinion about how to go about preparing a proposal. And the supplementary files, I actually listed all the tools. Later I'll show to you on another page, another HTML page, which I have a kind of a compiled. And you think the world of AI in research is overwhelming, is actually, is crazy, and this is even more crazier. uh, some some organization has come up with Sarjana AI, this Japanese company, and Google has come up with this co-scientist. I think it's more like for tools in basic sciences. Yeah, so this AI agent can actually find the gaps, find the gaps. I think in some way, the AI agents is fed lah, with all the literature, and to find out where are the gaps, and the AI agent can actually come up with a proposal and simulate the analysis, even come up with the report, the full process. But you see, there's a missing part of it. The one I said about second part of the research process, which is the conducting data collection or the field work. Yeah, for us in medicine, health sciences, if something that's important cannot be answered from available data set, big data, then we have to go to the patients to collect new data. So that part is not covered here. Yeah, and so AI can assist data collection, but it's not going to be discussed in this webinar. Okay, where am I? Sorry, I think it has moved on. Let me go back. Okay, so this I will not go into more details. I have mentioned to you about the neural networks of all the AI and LM. They are nothing but probabilistic machine. Yeah, they just predict what will actually come next. From your input, they predict what you want, what you need to know. So another perhaps I will bring up is the problem of LM is the syncophantic or syncophatic. They actually try to please us. Whatever you want, they'll try to go along with you, And if you are not careful, you can go with AI into the rabbit hole. So they bring you to your doom, So be very careful of that. Although, having said that, this problem is getting better, compared to like 6 months or 1 year ago. Okay, so the one that we are talking a lot about is a natural language processing, isn't it? Yeah. And perhaps I also want to say that nowadays, if you hate typing, you touch sugar typing, you hate typing, you can actually talk to ChatGPT. Okay, so now ChatGPT is the one that's better than Gemini and Claude in actually and receiving verbal conversations. Have you tried that? If you are, type. Sometimes I also get very late, tired, of typing. You can actually go to the mode by talking. You can talk long, even 1 minute long, and ChatGPT able to take that in and process it. That's very wonderful. Okay. Another tool of the functionality or strengths of AI will be visual intelligence. When you have all this, it's multimodal. So you can actually upload certain screenshot or picture, and then you can use AI LM to actually give you some output from there. You can even edit your graph, your chart, the one that you get it from SPS, something that you want to tweak here and there, but SPS may not be able to have fine tweak or fine refinement. You can post it to LM and then get it refined. That's the visual intelligence. Another one, if when these two are combined to become robotic lah. So we will not go into detail of that. If you want to get more into about that in clinical healthcare or that, I have actually slide in recording, but we're not going to that. I'm not so sure robotics role in research. I maybe nowadays, robotic can be used in your lab. I think it's already been used in the labs. If their fine motor is okay, they're repeating certain procedures. I think they are doing that now. Okay, now we are covered. We are now going to more detail about broadly and timely. I've shown you the whole process. Now about AI tools that you can use in refining a research idea. Or here I put it some just now, the YouTube and research questions refinement. You can use general one. Okay, so you can see here, I'm not so sure where you can see her. Okay, you can see there is Chinese one. I think the latest one is a Kimi lah. Kimi 3.0 is the best. You can use DeepSeek and Hunyont, yeah, from the Chinese side, open source, cheaper. Okay, and or specialized tools. I actually mentioned this earlier on. So all this can just help you in refining your research questions, okay, and plan your whole research proposal. If you want to go for literature review, and these are the elicit, perplexity, undermine, science-based, lead maps, research rabbits, connected paper. All this can just help you in getting to your literature review. Yeah. Okay. For writing, so beside paper, power, and Jenny, there's a one thing called Lex. These are sometimes ago. You need to double check if you want to use it. So this tool that I was talking about, it can write the whole thesis for you. Yeah, thesis AI or Thesis-ify. Later I'll show a bit more on that. Oops, it goes. Actually go on. Right. Okay. So if this slide would be, for my colleagues, if before you use AI, I mean they want to have knowledge. So this actually I put up as a knowledge base. Before any of you want to use AI, you want to have some knowledge base lah. Yeah, so knowledge base for medicine and clinical colleague here is clinical epidemiology, which I told you earlier on. If they don't care even about this, I think something is wrong lah. Yeah. Okay, so these are enlarged ones. I think we'll skip this. Again, you see this before, so I'm just to drive the point back to you is that you want to be knowledgeable and you want to have expertise with you. For those of you, you are still picking up your expertise, yeah. And beside then using the tools and the materials here will be knowledge. You need to have knowledge. You need to have manuals. You need to have, you know about ground truth. If you know, like say, let me show you now, I think, yeah. Okay. For tools in medicine and health sciences, can you see this CASP checklist? If you can see, right? The page, okay. So this checklist is kind of appraisal checklist for us who have conducted or wanted to report a research of certain design. Say for example here you can see there are different study design, not everything. Let's say for example you have done a cross-sectional study, and this checklist is actually scientists or researchers use to appraise their own or to appraise a paper of this study design or whether it was well conducted. So it's a kind of quality checklist. You know what I mean? So if you know such a checklist in your discipline, you have this uploaded to your preferred LM. When you plan a study, you can actually ask that LM to becoming your critical peer review. Let's say you have planned a study on something, but a cross-sectional study. You put up this one to the LM and ask it to use this one as the ground truth to review your proposal. You'll get a very good proposal at the end. This is what I mean by checklist. I mean ground truth. This is quality checklist. I'll show you another one. Another one. You all know about this Equator network. I hope it actually applicable to all discipline. It's a kind of a reporting checklist. Reporting checklist is different from quality checklist, but because reporting checklist require important things to be reported. If you, let's say you want to publish randomized control trials, so this checklist would actually require you to have all the important elements in your report. So many journals actually, many journals would actually require you to upload completed checklist, along with your manuscript when you submit it. Yeah, so this could be another ground truth. Let's say you have you're planning a randomized control trials, or even you have written out your RCT for publications. If your journal does not require you to also co-submit a checklist from this network, you could use it again, upload it to LM. Yeah, and then of course, if your manuscript could be uploaded, there's no sensitive or private information. Then you can just ask AM to criticize or give you feedback based on this ground truth. Okay, you get me? So I mentioned to you ground truth to improve your LM performance, giving you feedback on what you are doing, either proposal or either a completed report for submission to journals. Okay, I just put out again, re-emphasize to you, you need to have knowledge. You need to know the classifications. You are doing a mixed method, you want to have clear idea why mixed method, why not multiple methods, why not just quality or quantity. Okay. Now, for completed dataset to publishable manuscript, all these steps, AI can help. AI can help, but again, does not replacing our scientific judgment. Okay, every step of this can use AI. Okay, let me see. Okay, so my suggestion is different, say different from other people's. I think those of you who attended a certain workshop, we came across a lot of university email, isn't it? How to use AI for qualitative or producing or submitting impactful manuscript, all that, isn't it? I have no idea how they do it, but my suggestion is that you don't actually just post your data set to the LM, but that's the caveat is that you can share that. I just now mentioned, let me just mention again, make sure data set that you have is uploadable. If your research has some IP value or patents value, you want to be careful. You want to be careful about publications, about publishing it before get it patented or get it copyrighted or protected in some way. Because if you share your data set that could be later on be patentable, because when you share the proprietary, the so-called public LM, if subscribe is public. But I think the one that is subscribed by UPM is enterprise, meaning to say the company won't use it to train their model in the future model. The one that you subscribe yourself, they may use whatever that data you uploaded, to train their model. So you may not actually having any more privacy to your data set. Of course, in medicine, we also want to make sure it's not identifiable data set. Right. So here, the first step is to ground your analysis by uploading the protocol and informing the LM about your data set, data dictionary. I will come back to that, showing you what I mean by that. Only then you move on to ask LM to double check your protocol, because all research has protocols in it. And now, after the end of your research, you have the data set. You have completed the data collection. whether have you they collected sufficient variables, sample size, quality. So you need to double check whether your completed study contains the data set variables of sufficient quality and sample size to answer your initial proposed protocol. So you need step 2 is double check. Sometimes you can't, somehow something happened. Your sample size is not sufficient. The quality of data, further missing data, all that. So you cannot answer. Unfortunately, yeah, you cannot answer your proposed objective. Then you need to make some changes. It's okay. Just that you need to declare or need to justify why insufficient data quality and sample size, still you are able to explore some other questions. This is what it means by step 2. So you want to be transparent about whether the research ends and able to answer the objective, the pre-specified objective early on or not. Yeah. If you can or cannot, then you proceed to clean your data set. And cleaning here, there are a few other things, but the most important will be how's the missingness of your data. Again, this you can use AI to generate the syntax for you to put it back to SPSS or R to get the idea. And whether you know how to interpret, that's another thing lah. So you need to understand how you interpret the result from the software telling you what's the missingness and outliers. Do you know how to manage outliers? Yeah, so you need to know. If you don't, you can always ask back the LM. How am I supposed to go about addressing the missingness or outlier? Again, you can ask whatever you want. LM will tell you something, and whether that's the right thing to do, you need to have knowledge. Okay, so I think I emphasize enough that you need to be able to verify all the suggestion or output from LM. Okay, after you have done all this, then you can happy to analyze models, your data set, come up with the result. Yeah. And you can see a diagnostic here. Diagnostic model diagnostic is that you cannot go away even after you have done your inferential statistic. You want to model diagnostic, you want to check whether the modeling fulfill the statistical assumption. Okay, I think those of you who have done your master, you're now in your PhD, you know what I meant. Yeah, for those of you in the master degree, I think you want to really attend your statistic workshop and get to know how to do model diagnostic. I think most of the report that I came across in Malaysia, perhaps also in other places, from other places, you see the statistical analysis, they stop at modeling, telling you what's the logistic, how they do the logistic regression or linear regression, but without telling us whether that modeling fulfill or violate statistical assumption. Okay. Right. The analysis could also be visualization. You can create charts. Yeah. Yes. AI could actually, again, the same thing lah. You can ask Gemini to give you the syntax, and you can paste it back to your SPS. It can then produce you the chart that you want. Then you can interpret it, report from your chart, from the tables to the results section as a text, and then further discuss it. You can do all that with AI. I put down here, if you have read it, is about how much you can let AI do it lah. If you're not careful with the step 1, you can just use Julius AI or some other, even ChatGPT 5.6 now. You can ask, automated, fully automated for you, analyze holding for you, and you get provable, very nicely written. Even you upload an Excel file of your data set, it can get you very, very nice result table charting. But again, I will tell you whether you can automate this process, this step. Yeah. Again, you need to check. When you start going back and checking, you find that then you're not faster. You are not faster. Yeah. So this first point I get back to you is that using AI is not faster. If you automate also, you need to go back and check whether that is all true. The one that is best will be augmentations. Yeah. So you now compare to what we did last time, No, we have to click every step. We do everything one by one, It took us like weeks or even months to get our data set analyzed. And that's just analyze, a raw kind of outputs. And we have to still go back and report it in text, all that. But now with the AI, all this can be done almost like 1 or 2 days. Yeah. Okay, so agency is another thing which I have not really gone into because it actually burn a lot of tokens. And yeah, recently Gemini has some flash models. I mean, maybe I should go and try how to actually again agentic AI would also something like automations, but certain part of it you can like and leave it to be agentic lah. But that has to be thought through. Yeah, it cannot be just simply create any agent and let it run. Okay, the 4Ds here, which I hope in the beginning to tell you, but I think I leave it until now. When you deal with your data set, mean the same as you deal with AI to help you with a proposal. You have to go through, in your mind, these four. This is from Claude lah. This from Anthropic. What are the things that you think AI can do well? So you delegate. And then you want to be able to converse, talk to the AI. So you must want able to describe prompting lah. Yeah. Discern is that you want to be able to tell true and false, and then diligent. If don't take everything from AI. Yeah. I think most of you would get this. It's just that how much you want to be diligent about. Yeah. Okay. Move on. I will pause at somewhere. I think in a few more slides. Okay. I think this we have covered. Either you do it my way or the other person's way, which you leave it to the AI to do everything for you. This is my concepts lah. If I do analysis, I will actually anchor, scientific anchor to my protocol, because every research got protocol, isn't it? Because you will need to get protocol ready to get funding or to get ethics approval. So always inform the AI, Gemini, ChatGPT, or Claude, your research protocol. And the next one will be your data dictionary. Maybe now I'll show you what I mean by data dictionary. Okay. If you work with SPSS, I'm not so sure with all SPS, there's a window with the syntax. You type in code dictionary, you can copy, paste in it. Yeah. Then it give you, display dictionary, run the syntax. Then you give you all your variables, name, and also label. And then you download this one as a PDF. Then you can paste it to Gemini or ChatGPT or Claude. And then from there on, you get all the syntax back to you that you can paste it back, yeah, to the SPS to generate result. Is that clear enough? I mean, let me just pause for a while. If you understand me, then I can move on now. Otherwise, okay. Otherwise, I need to demo a bit lah. I think this is something that to convince you, you can use AI, but use it as like augmenting your research or your statistic analysis. Don't leave your data set. Don't leave the whole analysis to AI, but working like using AI to generate syntax for you to analyze yourself. And then in this way, you have the control, yeah, over the data set. If you leave it to the AI, you don't know what happened, Yeah. Okay, so this is what I mean. I mean, it's a more responsible way of analyzing your data set compared to just leave it to AI, which can do it now. Yeah. But then you need to spend more time to verify lah at the end. Okay, so data sets cleaning and feasibility audit. I think I will not go into more detail. AI can assist you. Yeah, but you need to understand. Even AI has done it, but then you need to understand what does it mean. Okay. And I think perhaps this is about documented rules. You want to be to also keep a documents how you do, and what you do, because you know that analysis is a very important part of your research project. Then every step that you do, or the process of getting to table one, to figure one, you want to keep a record of how you do that. And you will not be surprised in very near future, journals or even university SGS will actually demand, show us how did you get to result. Yeah. Later, I think I have a slide show you the borang, the form that you need to fill when you submit your thesis. So, I mean, this audit trail, yeah. Keep a record. Just perhaps what you prompt and what you get, copy and paste it at the moment. I think this is the way that you can do, on a file, on a words file, and keep it. Just copy and paste, copy and paste. I know it's kind of extra work. I think you want to do that because you're using AI. Yeah. Right. So I think I mentioned this to you. You want to make sure your analysis is according to your protocol. If it's not, you want to justify. And the rest of this, I made this slide because I want to remind myself also is that even after you have done the inferential statistics, the last final analysis, you don't want to go away without doing model diagnostic. All this. You want to check all this. Yeah. If you don't find expected result, to increase your robustness of your statistical analysis, sometimes you want to plan a sensitivity analysis or subgroup checks. These are two different additional approach. Yeah, to make sure the result that you generated from the primary analysis stay consistent, never change. If it changes with a sensitivity analysis, then you want to be able to explain why results are different. Yeah, or whether you need to have interaction term, because variables often they are not just bivariate. Sometimes they interact among the independent variables. I think I will stop. I'll not go into any more details. So you need to be aware of that. Again, using tools, you have materials, you want to be knowledgeable in order to leverage on AI. Again, okay, so this is an essential concept of static analysis. Everything is clear, no? Everything is clear. If you know, it's not difficult to do research. Yeah, so I encourage master degree students or even the PhD student to get this clear out. Nothing is so-called in scientific research, nothing is hideous, nothing is hidden. Everything is clear. Yeah. And perhaps I want to excite you a bit, make your life more interesting. Is that there are two schools of statistics. Yeah. Perhaps those of you who are doing in a statistic or mathematics discipline, you are more familiar. Beside the frequencies that we are using, most of us, there's a Bayesian. Yeah, there's a Bayesian statistic. There are two different things. Yeah, almost like opposite. Yeah, but they are used. You know how to use them. Yeah, then they are used. They are useful. Okay. All this I will not go into details. Yeah, interested, later on, we can meet in other sessions about statistics. But I'm not a statistician. I know I can actually work with statisticians, but I will not do the advanced statistics myself. I will let them do, but I will be able to verify whether they do it correctly. Yeah, so again, you can see all these Greek kind of statistic terms. Again, you cannot use them simply because they have to be used correctly. So it depends on your variables, isn't it? Yeah, you know this, that you cannot, if you plan your research in such a manner, at the end you only have certain tests that you have to do. You will not be doing everything. So this slide is just to tell you that you need to understand and make the right choice of statistical tests for your research questions and sampling methods, all that. It's all kind of pre-decided or narrowed when you come to statistical analysis. Okay. Now, there's a bit of difference between how to use AI, and depends on the types of user are you. If you follow me until now, you know that I keep telling you there's a watershed nowadays. You need to be very careful what you want to become. But I also see another kind of watershed, For those of us who come along before the AI era, we kind of become expert lah. Your supervisor, we are domain expert, subject matter expert, and some even your supervisors are methodologists or biostatisticians. So they're expert. The way we use AI is different, compared to most of you, I think, are kind of novel in research. Yeah. So if you are novice, the way you use it, I hope I have informed you enough is that you want to really explore, study, and learn. Yeah. When you use AI, you use AI to explore, study, and learn. Yeah. Here. You can see my cursor. Compared to us, we use AI to finalize things, We use AI to refine and finalize because we can verify, we can endorse whatever that we get from AI. So the safe approach for you to get to the expert level and productive usage of AI is that you want to first use AI to learn. You don't want to bypass reading. Yeah. Once you have done this, you have learned, you understand your method, and you are able to verify, and the amount of verification you have to do on the output from AI will be lesser. Then you can move faster. Okay, and better. Just now initially I told you you cannot be faster and better. Yeah, of course we still cannot be cheaper lah. If you now apply, you subscribe to this expensive tool, it's getting more expensive lah compared to us. Previously we just read, isn't it? And of course we use some other tools, chat, all that. Okay, so bear in mind, if you even we think we are expert in certain topics, but if we venture into new research area, we become novice, and the same approach apply to us, Okay, this is another way. Whether you have a grant that you want to go for in your research proposal, if you have grant to go for, then you can, upload the documents, even upload the link to that funder's website, and then you can iterate with the AI, inform the AI that you are working for a fund, and I tell you, this will make your research proposal very, very relevant to the funder's call. Yeah, I have done that. Yeah, I have time that I can share with you in more detail. But I think we are running out of time. So just bear in mind, you can do this. If you are not having any grant, you just do like to complete your program. So it goes back to be careful whether you have become an expert in the research topics or not. Okay. Right. So I think I'll pause before I go into this, or I'll go to another area, the specific part, and then come back to this for the sake of time. I think I pause for a while to take any questions, because next I will be going specific. Yeah, I want to highlight certain specific steps to make you aware of something important from here. Is there any questions so far?
Yes, Rob. I think the first question from Natasha. Should I read it out loud or
Okay.
prefer proofreading and give suggestion, wish to paraphrase or add more input, like peer review to minimize correction and maximize the AI benefits?
Paraphrasing.
Mm,
Okay. Of course, AI is very good at that. Paraphrasing grammars, you can no fully use it. There's no issue about it. Or you should use it by right nowadays. If you don't use AI to improve a grammar, I mean, I would say there's a negligence. Yeah. But that is not the issue. The more important issue is that whether before you paraphrase, improve the grammar, it, is the content correct? Yeah. Make sure your I mean the if I assume you are actually doing all the jobs manually, so-called, and then you come to your manuscript and now you want to improve the writing part of it, I mean, go ahead. You have already got your contents. I mean, the manuscript is already properly created, synthesized, reported, and now it's just a matter of uh, making it correct grammatically. I mean, go ahead. That's the way, that's the right use of this language model. Can you know? I know about the ground truth you mentioned. Okay, CSP is a if you I perhaps I share the link here. You can go into it. It's kind of checklist. You actually ask questions. Let's say you do cross-section study. Then one of the question whether your samples is representative of target populations. Yeah. So if you upload that one, that the ALM will double check your critics or review your proposal whether your sampling would actually have representative of target population. So that's a CASP. Yeah. So so-called ground truth is something that is standard. You want to inform the LM so that LM when it works on your project, then it would have like elevated to that kind of level. Okay, perhaps I now talk a bit about prompt engineering. I think I'm sure lah. If you don't actually understand the prompt engineering, usually we have to prompt the LM in the right way in order to get better quality output. Because LM is a general one, they were trained with billions and perhaps trillions of literature or writing. So if you are doing, let's say, engineering research, then you want to say when you prompt, you want to say, now you are the world-class engineering researcher. Then you tell what you want. So this personalized persona, give the LM some persona. So when they get your input, they will actually just search engineering research, that kind of thing. That's one way of doing it, lah. Yeah, but it's not really better if you don't actually provide so-called the standard of a quality practice. Like CSP is one of the standard. If you design certain research of certain type, then that will be the kind of a minimal quality, you want them to be able to work with you on. Okay. Any recommended? Paraphrase, yes, of course. It's a concern of the thesis. Why AI percentage? I mean, you are talking about Turnitin. Turnitin is actually if you are citing any references by just copy and paste, so-called. So there's a plagiarism. I mean, you don't actually write it in your own word. I mean, that's Turnitin output lah. And university cannot accept, I think, something more than 20 or 25%, isn't it? Yeah. So you need to paraphrase to show that, paraphrasing is not a trick to get over the Turnitin. Paraphrasing so that you actually understand. If you understand something, you write it or say it in your own word, that kind of thing, isn't it? So it becomes like your own lah. So when I say owning your owning the product that come from LM is what it means by you are able to regurgitate out in your own word lah. Of course, if you use AI to paraphrase everything, as if like it's yours, somehow you can use humanizer. Is it truly yours? Yeah, you want to question yourself whether have you really understand that lah. Any recommended website to check grammar? Improvise manuscript. AI tools are there. PaperPow is one of it. Jenny is another one of it. The one that's Alex also another one of it. But you need to pay in order to use a lot. Yeah, I mean, otherwise, I mean, you can try that lah. I think they are very good. Yeah. We finish all my result this question with citation also. Could I just copy them to ChatGPT for correct? If they so make, should I follow them? Okay, Punet na, you want to make sure that whether you can just upload your whole manuscript. If you don't mind, your supervisor don't mind, there's nothing like private, so-called, nothing that's patentable. Yeah, then you can just upload it. Because you are going to publish in open science, I'm not so sure whether you heard about open science. Open science approach or principle is that we are going to share everything. If your study research use public funding, we are supposed to share everything, isn't it? Yeah. So, but make sure your research isn't something about very sensitive lah. You are doing something like like in medicine, we are very sensitive about do not divulge any personal health condition, isn't it? You don't want the world to know your health condition because that is the sensitive data. So long you have done enough anonymization or pseudo anonymization, then you can upload the whole manuscript, so-called to ask the ChatGPT to improve on. But perhaps one point is that you cannot have a good quality output from LM if you give a big chunk of it. You want to work paragraph by paragraph or page by page in order to get a good quality. Yeah, they can't actually give a good quality if you give them a whole chunk lah. I mean, I'm not so sure about now whether the model is now better. They can take the whole chunk of your manuscript. I find it not so good. You want to work with a small chunk. Yeah. Would you suggest uploading everything on target only field for ground truth? If you understand the ground truth, what I mean is that if you're working on certain part, so let's say you have the study design ground truth, you use ASP or the Equator network. If you come to analysis, let's say you work on certain advanced statistics, let's say hierarchical analysis. If you do have review article, if you have like manual about hierarchical analysis in certain part, let's say repeated measures. If you have certain materials on that could serve as a ground truth, you can upload it, and then when you work with Gemini, all that on hierarchical analysis, they'll be very, very good. They will not be, they'll be hallucinating less and less likely to give you wrong answer because you ask them to refer to the standard. That's what I mean by ground truth. Okay. If you're paraphrasing, do we need to humanize? No need, I guess, because if you the humanizer, have you used it before? And then you actually have convert the AI kind of a prose into very human kind of way of doing or saying, you want to try that. But again, you can always use a Turnitin. I would use Turnitin to double check lah if you want to submit, isn't it? You don't want to be prohibited or found to be too much of similarity. You can't help with that. Turnitin is going to be used. So one, you can always check and then can always go back to improve on it. Yeah. Let's say done my research on one or the checklist of what is already covered so that we know the research met the objective or not. Working on more science-based biology, designing procedure. Okay. Validate our work is already covered. I'm not so sure whether you're talking about Natasha, whether you're talking about research gap or whether you want to double check whether your procedure is correct or not. Yeah. If you're talking about whether your work is already covered, meaning your literature review, if you have not done a good comprehensive literature review, you may miss certain work that people has done, then you are not doing something new. So the literature review part is very important. If you have attended research methodology workshop, you would have learned how to conduct a good literature review. The purpose of literature review is to know what has been done and how they were done. And if you come along, you want to repeat, you want to do something better or slightly different. And the same topic can be done again, provided it wasn't done in the way that is better, that you come along, you have a better way or different perspective, that's okay. But you need to know what has been done before. Lah. So is there any tool? No, like I think you can use all that tools that I mentioned, but you still need to conduct a so-called traditional databases search. You know what I mean? Okay, let me say one thing. If you use AI platform, Elicit, Perplexity, Undermine, all that, to help you to do a literature review, they cannot be complete because the database this AI have access to are limited. So far, I don't take it as comprehensive. Yeah. So I advise you, if you are doing research literature review in your postgrad study, it has to be more robust. So you cannot rely on any AI platforms to for your literature review. For a good, robust literature review, I said to my medicine and health sciences colleague, it has to be at least search through at least 3 major databases. The one that we always use would be PubMed, Cochrane Library, or depends on the topics of literature review. If it's something to do with psychosocial psychology or health services, we'll go to SciInfo or China or in the COVID, in the Ovid. Okay? This is correct step to use AI. I'm not good at academic writing. I ask AI to write my paragraph. After complete one paragraph, I verify the citation against the actual article. I repeat until my thesis is complete. 20 less than 10%. Okay. First, how did you come up with a paragraph lah? Yeah. If you have wrote it yourself, that's perfectly fine. That's for your item number 2. Item number 2. When you talk about citations, if you ask AI to find the citation for you, meaning to say, it is okay, Elicit, if you go to Elicit AI, there's a functionality to find specific paper for certain sentences in your thesis. Even you have done that with AI have suggested and you verify that citation is true, you still want to read that paper and to double check, make sure the message of that paper that you want to cite really support the sentence. Yeah. Partly because you want to be a responsible researcher, right? And everything that you mention is supported by literature, and the literature you mentioned is something that you have read through. Yeah, that's about citation. Okay. Mm. Okay. Ada lagi tak? Prof, to what extent can we use AI? For you, is advisor AI in writing option. You can use, I would promote AI use profusely only when you know how to use it responsibly. Yeah. From my early slide, right? You can use AI. Just know how to use it in the right manner. Similarities, I think university only accept Turnitin. So you want to use a Turnitin percentages, yeah, some. You can always go back to improve on it. Okay. Okay. Right. I think we are almost like 12. I think I will do this, but I will still need to cover this responsibly. This will still take at least I will a few like 15 minutes. But I promise you what? I will share this one with you. Okay, I share this one with you. Though it's not fully kind of verified by me yet, but I have gone through it. I think it's good. I will share this one with you. This HTML, I have already published it, but it's within, I think, personal use lah. Yeah, I will copy this one later on to the chat box. I just told you you can find what you can find here. So this interactive page about research with AI. So from all the way from research idea to publication. Okay. So what I have created here is that it's a full research journey. You can click into this to get to AI Tools Navigator. Yeah. And if you are working on a quantitative proposal, you can use this one to assist you. There are 18-step checklists. Yeah. And how AI can help, and when we should not use AI. You are working on qualitative proposal, so this would actually help you. If you have come to analysis, you can go to this part 2A for quantitative data analysis. If you are working on qualitative thematic analysis, all that, you can come to here. Yeah. If you're working up a manuscript for publications, you can come to this. And publication journey as well. I think I don't have time to go into detail. I can also share this one with you if you want to get to know the whole research, the whole publication process, which is linked to this page lah. Yeah, let me open up and show you. You go to here. There's a kind of standard format. You show to you legitimate AI roles. Yeah, some principles, and what you can do with AI in the manuscript preparation. Yeah, and what AI must not do. Choose journal. Yeah. So I have all this kind of written out. I mean, perhaps you promise me when you use it, you give me feedback how I can improve it. Okay. I will share this one to you with you. If some of you have more idea and thought, we can co-develop this one, and next time we can make this one something more about this. Okay. Is that okay? I'll go back to my slide. Okay, so what I mean by responsible use is about all these three. The more you use AI, it's like a big clutches, It's a very powerful tool. I feel like the more I use it, I tend to outsource my thinking. You know what I mean by outsource the thinking? Sorry, go back. You actually, the tendency of you stop using your brain. Yeah. Yeah, it's very dangerous in a way. Yeah. The tendency of using AI before understanding the subject. I mean, you be careful, because the more you use it, like you all are, I'm taking up this webinar because I think I need to inform you. If you do this, you actually never skilling, a concept that you will never learn how to do research. Let's say you are now postgrad students working on the research, is a research path. If you using AI all out, throw out and all out, you have the tendency of never learn about research. That's why I'm telling you, you use AI to help you learn, scaffolding, build the scaffold for you to learn, not as a crutches that you give away your learning. You understand me? I hope. And the tendency of seeking confirmation rather than critique. AI is very good, sycophonic. It will pleasing you, placing you and all that. It can be your lover as well. But be careful lah. It actually it is created in such a manner, because they are AI company. They want people to subscribe, isn't it? They cannot have an AI actually criticizing you or angry with you, right? Then you actually shut it down, isn't it? So in that way, you want to be careful. Not everything that the AI telling you that, oh, you are good, it's fantastic, amazing, and then you are happy with that. No, trusting fluent answer too readily. So all these are tendency lah. So be careful. Of course, I think you're aware of the pitfalls. Yeah. Okay, this is another risk of using AI tools. If let's say all of us are using AI, it has been kind of observed the topics of research become contracted, because AI would suggest only certain topics somehow. I don't really understand, but the risk I think I can understand is that because they are pre-trained, they only be fed, AI, all the mathematical formula, right? They were trained in certain literature. Only certain literature is available to them. If you ask them to suggest research topic and questions, it seems like they draw from their corpus only certain area. Yeah. So if you keep doing this, we may not be, research throughout the other area. I think I would leave this one to you to read. I have a few slides on the whole throughout the research process. What are the issues with the commissions and omissions? Yeah. So be just read it. I will leave it to you. This is, I think, until the design proposal stage, and this will be until data analysis stage. Yeah, the data collection, the field works. Uh, there are risks if you are not careful. And this is from data analysis to publication, even post publication. Yeah, so there are omission and commission. uh, I'm not going into details. I think you can read about them. And this is about academic integrity lah. Yeah. uh, in university now, because you are a student, so you want to uphold in high standard academic performance and attitudes and integrity. The list is actually longer than this lah. And this is kind of summarized list. You can see the first one is cheating. Yeah, so cheating can include many things lah. Uh, and then fabrications is more severe. Yeah, false records or falsification is something even more serious. Yeah, so a lot of things when you cheat, when you fabricate or falsify lah. Plagiarism is that you use some other people's, not your own, and then never declare or never cite, and as if like it's your own. Yeah. So Turnitin is just a plagiarism in writing. Yeah. There are other plagiarism. So be careful if you present your research in a conference and somehow the owner, the original owner of certain things that you use, you never cite, then you got it. Huh? Unauthorized assistant is actually put up here as well. But this is a bit, I would say, not really so-called academic misconduct, but is perceived so by University of Calgary, which I would think is a good to observe lah. Yeah, you want to get help, and then you also want to declare, let your supervisor know, get their permission lah. Just don't go and get any unauthorized assistant for your work. You know what I mean? And failure to comply is another one. You want to really be aware of the university policy, your faculty's policy, even your supervisor's way of doing things. You are on your own certain discipline, there are certain way of doing things, codes of conduct lah, or professional conduct. So be aware and try to comply to all that. Yeah. Okay, I think I have shown you this, right? Yeah. So remind you again, AI will enhance who you are or already are. If you're a good person, you become better. If you're a bad person, you become worse. Yeah, truly so. And if you want to become a good researcher, excellent researcher, AI is here to help you. Or if you just want to become a manager of AI or manager, you're not a researcher. If you just know how to use AI, but not so sure about doing research, you just become manager, which is easier lah. Okay, this I told you about never skilling. If you heard me just now, though this is from medical students or medical educations, but it apply, in the learning process. If we use AI to give answer, never gone through the struggles of learning. We use AI to give us all, I mean, uh, uh, I mean, uh, outputs without us actually verify them. We also may get into never skilling. Never skilling is failure to learn, yeah? And metacognition erosion. You just relying on outputs, never like apply your critical thinking. So the consequences, as I told you, you are not, you are supposed to become a researcher, right? You pay your money, you go through 2 years, 3 years, you want to become a researcher. If you use AI appropriately, you'll get there, better than your senior. If you don't use it properly, you will not just harm yourself, your research may harm others, yeah, because it produces misleading results. Okay, so I give you this slide again. Be knowledgeable, be having some expertise before you use AI tools, or develop expertise and knowledge with AI tools. Yeah. And I think perhaps I just say something about this slide. This is just to show you that though it's not like in research, it's about medical, using AI as medical assistant, like say before you go to hospitals, what actually happened to my stomach ache, that kind of thing, right? So here they compare those of use AI as a medical assistant. Like here, this study has been done some times ago, when the human plus llama 3 is not better, compared to human that never don't use AI tools, or even ChatGPT 4.0. Compared to the AI tools, diagnose conditions itself. If you let AI tools to just do the job, they do better than human, and human come into the picture. So what's the message? The message is that humans sometimes misuse AI tools, or don't believe the right output from AI tools. Here I'm talking about the medical assistant. AI as a assist in diagnosis, assist in all that. So the studies show that sometimes physicians don't believe AI, which is correct. But sometimes AI is so powerful, they are so much more knowledgeable, and it actually better when the humans stupidity or ignorance don't come into picture. So there's a lot more for interpretation. I leave it just like that to tell you that how to use AI wisely is a topic that you want to know how to use it wisely, and whether AI sometimes give a better output or outcomes, whether you want to use that for. Sometimes I got these questions, which I can apply to research and researcher. Do you care about the doctors or the researcher being responsible in using AI, or do we just, or to be more concerned with the outcomes? Let's say, for example, here research, do you want the best research, the best data collection, the best analysis, with the best evidence that is generated? Or do you mind also that researcher must be involved, the researcher must be expert researcher, and then outcomes lah? Do you also want the human part of it, or is it okay to have AI that produce a better outcomes? Yeah, so I leave it at that. We got time, we can discuss more. Okay, I think I'm going to fly a bit faster. We don't have much time to discuss this. What I meant here profusely, also smartly, use AI smartly. These are the manual that I will leave it in the slide. You can click the link. This will be another one specifically focusing on prevalence study. Oops, I think we'll go there. Okay, this is from data analysis to publications. But I think publication not so much there. Yeah, it's just from analysis to interpretation. The manual that I developed when I conduct the workshop elsewhere. You may have it if it's helpful. Okay, I think I'll not go into much details. You can read it. I mentioned this one. There's something slightly more extra to that. Uh, Perhaps this will be the last summary that I can give it to you lah. Okay, so in the research, these are the clearest human-only decisions. The final research questions and intended inference must be from human, cannot be from AI. Ethical approval and risk-benefit judgment, meaning ethics committee cannot use AI to judge your research proposal, okay? If you're sitting in the ethics committee. Informed consent and assessment of consent capacity must be by human. Don't leave it to AI. Final choice of design, outcomes, and sample size assumption must be human decision, you and your supervisor or the researcher. Number 5, determination that data are genuine. Don't leave it to AI. They will actually synthetic, they will generate some synthetic data. Decisions to exclude, alter, impute, or recode observation must be from you because you know the context. Yeah, you know the meanings. You leave it to AI, they don't have the whole context. They may actually give you a wrong suggestion. 7, final statistical and qualitative interpretation must be from researcher. 8, clinical, theoretical, social, policy, significant. The meanings of the result must be from human. Because again, the context, the culture, background, all that, the AI may not have the whole thing. 9, authorship, contribution, conflict interest decisions must be from the researcher. 10, acceptance of responsibility for the final output. Yeah, you don't say, oh, this AI did the job or he did the wrong. I'm not aware. You cannot say so at the end. 11, decisions concerning corrections, expression of concern or retraction must be human. You see that many decisions must be from human. The last one, but not the least, any action involving confidential information without explicit authorization. So this must be also from human. Okay, I think I would okay, I think I mentioned about thesis AI and Testify. If you need more powerful, you need to pay subscribe to them. Okay, I think perhaps this again, last 2 slides or 1 slide. If the research does not worth your effort, it probably does not worth doing at all. Okay, and if you wherever you come from, you didn't go back to your country or go back to the society you're from. Remember, we have the responsibility of incurring or cultivating trust in science. So in order to be trustworthy, all that we do must be transparent. Yeah, I told you about open science, and responsive, willing to listen, adapt, correct errors, and respond to public and scientific concerns. And you want to be an expert. If you use AI and never learn, you're not going to be expert. You don't have understanding, so you will not have trust, from society. And stewardship, acting with benevolent care, responsibility toward people and society. And then truthfulness. AI cannot tell the truth, right? So be careful. All right. So this is a borang I told you. I hope it's quite a lot to say in the borang. That's why I advise you to keep some audit trail of how you use AI. And if you want to use auto kind of AI generator, you put in what you do, and then this is more like for a journal Journal, there's a section at the end, right? Declare how you use AI. You can use this generator to phrase the declaration. Okay, I think that's all. Let me see any more questions lah. We can spend more time with you again. Any questions that I need to
I don't think the last question you addressed, I don't think there are not many questions after that.
maybe no?
So if any participant have any question, I think Prof have a bit of time to entertain. Please type in the chat box. I want to ask, can we have the slide?
Yes, yes, I can. I will share now. I will share now.
Okay.
I'll share the online interactive website also. But can I have your also you feedback to me if you find something that can be improved. Of course, if you think it's good, also can let me know. Yeah. Now I have just sent into the chat box the link to the interactive online pages that you can use. Now next I will share with you the slide, the slide that I just used. Let me get the link. Just hold on. Okay, so this will be the PDF of my slide that I used today. Okay, I think in that slide you would find the link to my another preprint if you want to get to all the tools. I mean, but you know, things has changed. Nowadays there are more tools. So keep yourself updated. Okay, as I told you, the secret of success, yeah. In order for you to be always know the latest, the best tools. Yeah. Okay, I think is there anything else, Arif?
Mm, I don't think we have any question in chat box. There are just question for the slide and also a session for your talk today. Okay. I think that's all. Thank you, Prof. And thank you again all for participating in this session. So don't forget to fill up your attendance and also your evaluation form. So, Prof, I will be also
What is that?
I will also sharing you the evaluation form after the session, Prof.
Okay, okay,
Thank you so much, Prof. Thank
okay.
you
Thank
all.
you.
Sorry, Prof. I have
Mm,
a question.
okay.
If nowadays we are using the any AI tools to write our manuscript or giving us or the proposal idea to write our thesis or proposal, so how can we reduce the similarity for AI writing?
The humanizer, if you want, you can try. Is the link is in the my talk slide. Is embedded there. If you click on the site on the humanizer, I think also I paste the link there. It will lead you to a GitHub, and you can actually copy uh copy it and put it in your LM, let's say ChatGPT. It will install for you, or you can ask whichever LM as how to install it. Once you installed it, you can get that humanizer to make your writing, your thesis, all that sounds more like human. And it has been proven to be very good. And when there was a Nature editorial actually discussed about this too. But again, uh, yeah, be what uh own your thesis lah, own your writing, though it has been humanized. You can humanize it to your own writing style though. But then you want to own it lah. Make sure it's correct. Make sure you know what is written. It is you who can take responsible for it. Okay.
Okay, thank you,
Yeah.
Prof.
Yes.
Mm.
So has ended, right?
Yes.
I think there's
Yes.
still people staying around here.
Okay, bro. I
Okay,
think
then.
that's
So
the
that's
end.
all from me. So
Okay.
good luck to you all. Yeah.
Okay, thank you too.